It is better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. Introduction: a garden of noise. You're not weak. You're not lost. You're just untrained for the war you're already in. Look around. The world seems peaceful. Your phone glows. There's coffee, music, 1,000 people scrolling beside you. But under the surface, something aches. There's a quiet war taking place. And it's inside you. A war of purpose against numbness, of courage against confusion, of presence against the ever-refreshing feed of distraction. And no one handed you a sword. No one trained you to fight. That's why we begin here, not in the trenches, but in the garden. Because this is where your strength is forged. Not when the war comes, but before it does. Chapter 1: The Personal War. You felt it. That rising tension in your chest when life asks something of you. But you're too tired, too doubtful, too tangled up in invisible threads to act. Not because you're lazy, but because you're overwhelmed. You were taught to be nice, not ready. Taught to keep things calm, not question the storm quietly brewing inside you. Somewhere along the way, you became a gardener. You trimmed your edges, pulled the weeds of emotion, smiled for the world, hid the blade of your anger, your instinct, your yearning. But what happens when something threatens that garden? When the storm comes? When your job, your health, your love, your dreams are under attack? If you're not a warrior by then, you're just a target with good intentions. A warrior isn't violent. A warrior is awake. They anticipate. They train. Quietly, consistently. They don't wait for crisis to grow backbone. They build it in peace, through discipline, solitude, reflection, and resolve. And in that way, strength is not loud. It's sacred. Chapter 2: The Collective War. Let's zoom out. This isn't just your fight. Your generation has been handed a strange sword. A world with endless choice, yet paralyzing confusion. A society that worships self-care, but forgets self-respect. A culture of likes, but not depth. Of visibility, but not vision. And here's the secret no one posts about. No one is coming to save you from this war. You were trained to curate, to conform, to live your truth. But only if it's palatable. You were taught to seek peace at all costs, even if it meant betraying your inner voice. But peace is not the absence of conflict. Peace is the presence of capacity. And here's what's terrifyingly real. When our society discourages warriors from sharpening their tools, we build a garden filled with soft souls and no defenders. Then the winds of chaos come, and the gardeners don't know what hit them. Chapter 3: In Daily Life. So how does this show up practically? It looks like anxiety before saying no. It looks like apologizing for taking up space. It looks like ghosting instead of confrontation. It looks like drowning in options and still feeling powerless. You see people who seem strong, confident, sharp. But you don't know what they've survived or how much they've suffered to earn that strength. You hesitate to speak truth because you fear judgment. But every time you choose silence over authenticity, you sharpen the wrong sword. Being a warrior in a garden means holding boundaries without shame, practicing stillness like it's a skill, choosing discomfort over ease when the soul asks for it, having your emotions, but not being ruled by them. It's not about control, it's about readiness. Chapter 4. Myths, Dreams, and Symbols. In every myth, the warrior leaves comfort, not because they hate peace, but because peace without purpose becomes a prison. Think of the dragon in every hero's tale. It guards something sacred: treasure, truth, freedom, a captured self. That dragon is resistance, fear, laziness, insecurity, external expectations. In your dreams, you might run from shadows, fight invisible monsters, wake up tense and gasping. That's not your mind glitching. That's your soul remembering. It knows you were built for more than survival. You were made to evolve. But evolution doesn't happen on a couch. You train in the garden, so that when your dragon comes, you don't run. You rise. Chapter 5. Real-world implications. So what does this actually look like? Start small. Not with grand gestures, but with discipline. Make your bed. Turn off your phone. Finish what you start. Show up on time. Speak honestly, even when your voice trembles. Each act, no matter how mundane, becomes your training ground. And here's the magic. If you meditate in stillness, you'll carry calm into conflict. If you lift weights in solitude, you'll carry strength into service. If you journal through grief, you'll carry clarity into chaos. You won't need to scream to be heard. You'll speak, and the room will listen. Because your voice will carry the tone of someone who knows themselves. Chapter 6. How to become the warrior. Step 1. Forgive yourself for not being ready before now. No one taught you this, but now you know, so train every single day in how you speak, how you sit with discomfort, how you choose truth over performance, how you hold your dignity without demanding applause. This doesn't mean abandon softness. It means protect it. A warrior is not always armored. Sometimes they are barefoot, watering a plant, watching the wind shift, breathing, listening, waiting. But when the time comes, they stand, and they stand well. Closing. A call to remembering. The war is here. It's in your choices, your habits, your identity, and it's already begun. But you have a choice. You can wait for the world to test you. Or you can prepare now, in the quiet moments when no one is watching. It is better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. And the world will try to convince you otherwise, to dull your blade, to prioritize aesthetics over ethics, to stay in your lane, to not make waves. But your soul, it remembers something ancient, something unshakable. The part of you that still dreams of dragons, that craves meaning more than attention, that whispers even now, you are more than this. So choose. Not tomorrow, not next year, now. Stand in the garden, sharpen your mind, temper your spirit, root yourself in something deeper than trends or approval. And when the storm comes, you won't be afraid, because you trained for this.